What's up? What's up, everybody? It's opening day
Yo,
of the NFL season.
so stoked, bro. Had my wings already. It's
Nice.
NFL season, baby.
Nice. Yeah, I wanted to get wings so bad. I just couldn't make it in time for the pod. But I will definitely be having some wings on some NFL Sundays. I got the game behind the monitor right now. I'm seeing the pregame right now. I'm hyped.
Dude, let me ask you, how many times did you roster bait since the draft on Tuesday?
I roster baited so hard
I
that Hope is now talking to me about fantasy football. Like I've talked about my roster so much to her that she's now asking me like, how's your team?
that
Or like what did she say the other day? She's like, "Oh, you got King Henry, right?" And I was like,
dang.
"Yeah." So I've been like publicly roster baiting, like kind of telling everyone that will listen,
Yeah.
and it's working. It's working because she's talking fantasy to me now.
That's really interesting. I think a couple pods ago, or maybe just to me, you were saying that you felt like TikTok was really heavy into fantasy, and I didn't feel it at that point. But maybe it's because it's closer, maybe because I've been doing more research. But I'm really feeling it now. I
Yeah,
feel like you know. Our league, I think, does a great job every year on like upping the stakes, but I've seen people like just do crazy things. And then even more impressive, in my opinion, is I've seen more like girls and like girlfriends talk about fantasy football and the effects fantasy football have
it's
had
it's kind
on
of a
like,
trend. Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of a trend right now with there's that meme going around or the TikTok meme where like um oh, your boyfriend's a doctor. Well, mine
yeah,
manages a fantasy football team for the
yeah,
next 4 months. Like, I don't
definitely.
know. I think it's definitely breaking in some like mainstream culture with TikTok, which is fun. The more people
Yeah,
that love fantasy, the better.
yeah,
So we got some
definitely.
fun fantasy things to talk through today. We just did the draft, so we're
Just
gonna do some power rankings.
hmm Yeah, so I think what will be really cool, or the way we should do it is you and I, we did our research on the teams, and we both will give a grade to each person's draft.
Yeah, we
We'll do
might have been the
some,
only ones who researched teams this year at all, but even before the draft.
actually, I did think about that. Did want to say that on the pod, but that's probably right. Like you and I have probably spent the most hours, and that's a consistent trend maybe over the last few years. And that is both a blessing but also sometimes a curse, because I feel like fantasy football research groups, Reddit, podcasts can just be like echo chambers sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're always like kind of on the same guys, just because like whoever was a reporter, they said that someone looked good, and it trickles down everywhere.
Yeah.
So we kind of lose a little bit of the randomness, but at least in terms of who the general consensus of fantasy um, analysts feel like had a good draft. I think you and I have a pretty good knowledge of it, and so we can give pretty honest scores here.
Yeah, I
Um,
I honestly feel like a fantasy analyst. I don't know. I'm not tooting my own horn. I just listen to the podcasts. Like
yeah, yeah.
I enjoy listening to fantasy podcasts. So I
I
feel like I'm just parroting back what I'm
yeah,
hearing, but their logic makes sense, and I'm so ready to roast everybody's rosters
yeah.
and tell them why mine's better.
All right, let's do it. Well, before we get into the draft grades, I did want to circle back to something you said and a bet we made in the draft. Um, And I think this will be great for the pod, similar to like ESPN's fantasy pod, just keeping tracks of bets over the season. So you were very down on Melvin Gordon, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Melvin Gordon is washed, and I'm
Yeah.
determining that based off of his free agency deal. I mean, they let him go on the market. They didn't rush to re-sign him. That says, "Hey, we're okay if you leave." And then they gave him like the minimum amount that for a 1 year deal. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I am on the other side. I think that yes, Melvin Gordon is declining, Javonte Williams is improving, but you said something like Melvin Gordon isn't going to get 10% of the snaps, which was probably a hyperbole, and I'm willing to honor that. But I would say let's make a bet. I'll go over on 35% snap usage for Melvin Gordon um, through the end of the season, pending
deal,
any injuries. Or and
deal.
if
First
there's an
bet of the
injury, we
season.
can go to whatever game he left off with. Deal with
Okay.
that? A shake on that?
Vir- virtual shake. Let's do it. First bet.
All right.
Locked and loaded.
All right. Cool. There's a tweet I have pulled up about Melvin Gordon, but I'll save that for maybe later.
Oh shoot. Is
Speaking,
it is
yeah,
it like Melvin's looking good? Melvin's looking sharp.
it's essentially someone saying I think Williams will be a fine running back. I see people being dishonest about the intended carry split. It's not 80-20. It's not 70-30. It's something more like 55-45.
Oh, we'll see about that. But we'll
Yeah,
see.
so we'll see. We'll see.
You know what? If anything, he just gives more honor to my namesake, so can't hate on him too much.
All right. You want to get into some draft grades?
Yeah, let's do some draft
Yeah.
grades.
All right. So I
Pull them
popped
up.
up. Yep.
Wait, do I pull that up?
Yeah, you can just add my little screen up there. Yeah,
There we
cool.
go.
Yeah, so let's go ahead in reverse draft order. Start with the back of the draft with Ryan, and just maybe we won't spend more than a minute on each team. Quick bullet from each of us, and then final grades. Josh, go
Okay.
ahead. Ryan's
And
team.
I just want to say, Roshan, real quick before we do this, the game is literally starting right now, and I
Oh,
can see it. So I'm just saying that if one of my players has something positive happen, I might just let out a little celebration.
all
But
right.
I have Gabe Davis and Allen Robinson playing wide receivers for both teams, so I'm loving offense all game long. And
Yeah.
who's in for you?
I got Darrell Henderson, and right before this pod started, I was able to nail down a trade with Dan for Isaiah McKenzie.
Yeah, so you
Ga-
got offense on both sides of the table
Yeah,
too.
got two players. I just wanted to get some players, on the field in my starting lineup. So yeah, I
All
got a
right.
little eager. So it'll be a fun game for us.
All right. Cool. Let's do these rankings.
All right.
We're starting with Ryan.
Yeah. So I'll go first if you're
Go
still
ahead.
waiting for a second. So um, overall, I really like Ryan's draft. I mean, Ryan is always a really solid drafter, and he did a good mix this year of both proven stars and future talent. ETN and Damon Pierce are potential breakout candidates, but also potential staples and stars, not just in the future, but in this year. So I'm definitely stoked for that. I'm not as stoked for Derek Carr as the everyday quarterback. But I think he'll figure something out.
Yeah. You know, I agree. ETN, potential great keeper. Uh Damian Pierce, potential great keeper. So I'm thinking keepers. I'm thinking who am I starting?
Yeah.
But he's got the best QB wide receiver stack in the league.
Yeah.
No one else,
Oh,
no one else really got a good stack this year.
you think Adams Carr is the best stack
Out of everyone that was
out of
drafted,
everyone that was drafted? Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
ETN's going to be exciting and could be a PPR monster, but
Yeah,
for Ryan, shallow bench
yeah.
and really not loving like his flex options. I got to be honest.
All right. So, I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit more positive. I gave him a B plus. Where did you end up ranking Ryan?
I originally gave him a B minus, but on the fly, I upgraded him to a B.
All right. All right. I think that's Ryan. Yep. Pretty close for both of us. Let's go on and move to Mitch.
Okay,
Why
cool.
don't you
So
go
for Mitch,
first? Yeah.
yeah, I'll rank Mitch first here. So Swift could be a game changer, a league winner in PPR this
Yeah.
year. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
watching Hard Knocks, like there was a clip from Hard Knocks where the running back coach says you can be the best running back in this league.
Yeah.
You just got to like work for it. So everyone's hyped on Swift. That was like the fantasy podcast, like 101 was DeAndre Swift. So, and Diggs is going to ball. I mean, we're watching the Bills right now. Diggs is going to ball. I've got Gabe Davis. So I'm hoping Gabe Davis like takes a little bit of that Diggs target share. But besides that, unfortunately, I think he got the worst of the two Broncos wide receivers. McLaurin, sure, McLaurin's a beast, but the QB play worries me. But he did get Cole Kmet too. I think he's going to end up starting Cole Kmet during the season.
Yeah. So, with Cole Kmet, I think even Fryermouth, I think he got really great value at tight end late. Also, really respected the waiting game he played on quarterbacks, like waiting until pretty much the end and was able to nail Stafford. So, he got a lot of quality picks in between then. but then he did reach and got the top defense and kicker, which also a blessing and a curse. But yeah, I wish he waited maybe one more round,
Yeah.
nail another like solid flex in.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving Mitch a B minus. Where did
Same.
you
I
rank
gave
him?
Mitch a
B
B minus.
minus. Okay, cool. Go to Matt.
All right, Matt. You want to go first on this one?
Yeah, so that doesn't sound very good. So, um, I really think Matt has some solid depth. I think Matt, has three good running backs: Mixon, Chubb, and Robinson. I'm high on Robinson, actually. You were saying ETN earlier. I think Robinson will have a pretty solid year. And then he has four solid receivers: Evans, Higgins, Michael Thomas. He could be up there with the two of them. And then also Alec Pierce and Garrett Wilson are really promising young receivers. I think Alec Pierce could be the best of the rookie receivers, truthfully. So I think Matt had a pretty decent draft. I think his glaring weak spot is tight end. I think tight ends were really weird this year. A lot of people double or triple dipped on tight ends, and
Yeah.
Hunter Henry versus where's his other tight end? Yeah, Zach Ertz. I think Zach Ertz might get more of those starts, but we'll
Yeah.
see there.
Look, I'm gonna say this to Matt. Commonwealth Matt, this is what I have to say to you. Without mincing words, I see your team and it feels old. Chubb doesn't catch passes.
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
and the Browns are a mismanaged team. Evans is old as fuck. Higgins is good, and people are hyping him, like saying he's basically Jamar Chase. But
yeah. What about Devontae Smith?
Thomas is coming off an injury. Smith is on a run first team with a new wide receiver one in AJ Brown.
Are you saying the Eagles are a run first team?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
The Eagles are a run first team.
Okay.
You disagree?
I don't think this year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you got hurt, so
I hope not this year.
And I think Matt's bench is weak. He better hopes Robinson comes back from this injury the way that some people are expecting him to.
Yeah, like me. Yeah.
I mean, the people think ETN's the future of Jacksonville too, so I'm not so sure.
Yeah. So okay, it sounds like we're a little.
The only pro I gave Matt was that he got Evans at a discount. So
right.
if the only pro is someone fell to him, I mean, I don't know. I'm not loving it. So I gave Matt a C.
All right, I gave him a B plus. I think we're a little different views on some of these players, and you get
spicy water.
Yeah, I think we have a couple of different views on these players, but you're right. If Matt ends up slipping, he has a lot of good assets for people who are trying to win now. So
yeah,
that could be a positive for him in the long run.
Dude, I'm watching the Bills freaking drive right now, and Gabe Davis hasn't touched the ball. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh! Hold on. First touchdown of the season, baby.
Is it Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis, let's go.
Oh man, I think I might be able to share it.
Oh,
no, I'm gonna miss it.
That was so well timed.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
off the QB fake, the little. I gotta watch this replay real quick.
I think I might be able to share it real quick.
Share it.
Share Windows. Oh no, they're going to commercial.
Oh, he was so open.
Here, pop it up.
Oh, let's go. I'm roster baiting so hard right now.
That's got to feel so good. I wish it was McKenzie.
Oh, look how open that dude is.
Beaut. All right, let's watch
and
this
just
view.
Before we started recording this, I was telling Roshan, I was like on the fence if I was going to start Gabe Davis tonight or Chase Edmonds. And man, sometimes you don't overcomplicate it.
Nah, you got to play the guys you wanted, your guys.
That one touchdown was worth 9.6 points. Damn, this is going to be a fun year.
It's going to be a fun year.
Let's keep rating these trash ass teams. I'm so fired up right now.
All right. Why don't you? What did you give Matt again? Sorry.
I gave him a C.
C. Okay.
Yeah, a C for see you in not the playoffs.
All right, let's go to Bata then.
All right. Bata, look. Bata, I liked his draft. He got Hall, who could be a keeper. I think Lamb's going to ball and is going to be a PPR monster. Like the Cowboys do have a good offense. Gibson's lucking out right now with the Robinson injury. And I think Bateman's going to break out this year too. We see all the time, like second-year wide receivers, third-year wide receivers, that's their breakout year. Bateman falls in that. I think Lamar is going to ball out too. Bad as bench, feels a little bit mid. Lazard, like, could be big time. I mean, he could be the wide receiver one. Nobody really knows who the wide receiver one is on the Packers right now, but Lazard's been there. Rodgers trusts him. So overall, I do like Bada's team. I think you're feeling good with Najee. You're feeling good with Burrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can give you my ranking, but I don't. Do you want it before or
No,
after
no,
yours?
no. I'll go ahead. Honestly, like your convincing just made me rank up Bata a little bit on mine. But Bata might have the weakest tight end slot other than you in the league. That's a really tough one.
Yeah.
But I'm a little concerned about Najee as running back one, just injury wise. I think he's coming off of like I don't want to misstate the injury, but there's some foot injuries. Gibson also, we're not sure of. The whole running back two situation here. I think Brees Hall will be a great player in the league in the future, but there might be a lot of question marks here at running back.
I was
The big positive here is that AJ Brown, CD Lamb could both be top 5 receivers and can literally just win in games
yeah.
week in, week out. And then he
And
has a
AJ Brown's
couple.
young. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a keeper potential too.
Yeah.
And
I
and
tried
with
I tried to get him. I tried to get him from Bata, but just to get the Hurts AJ Brown stack, but he wouldn't hear anything
hey,
of
he
it.
might budge later on. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right. So what did you end up giving him?
I gave him a B plus.
Okay. B plus. I ended up giving him a B, but again, I was a little low on him. You convinced me. You convinced me that Bata's team is better than I thought.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Martin.
All right. You go first.
Okay, so Martin, I think if Saquon can outperform his ADP this year, getting in the second round, Martin's gonna have a monster season. I'm a Saquon believer. I think that can happen. I think that period. I think that there's just some question marks I have on some of the choices. Like you got 3 mid-tier tight ends. I don't know if you're gonna play the
Did he
you know,
really have 3 tight ends?
yeah, three. So maybe he can play the trade game. I'm not sure, and then I'm worried about the wide receiver depth after Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So you got Chase, Marquise Brown. Great player, could be good. Not sure if he's going to haul in a lot of targets and be a star. Sky Moore's the third, maybe DJ Turk's the third, but that's not a lot of great depth for I think a very heavy scoring season.
For sure. Yeah, look, when I look at Martin's team, I see potential. Did I say Lamar's team or Martin? I don't even know.
Martin.
I see potential. Lamar is the funnest player to watch in the league
Yeah,
to me.
that's very true.
And
Lamar
so
alone can win you
yeah,
this
I
winning
give
a
Martin a
league.
whole letter grade bump just because he's got Lamar, and that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saquon and AJ both have potential to significantly outperform their ADP. Christian Kirk too. I think they paid Christian Kirk $30 million, like a 3-year, $30 million deal
Yeah.
on the Jacksonville. So people like forget about Christian Kirk, but he was really good on Arizona and then
Yeah.
got paid to be like the wide receiver one on Jacksonville. And Rashad Penny too. Like last year when Rashad Penny played, what's that guy that Preston had that kept getting injured?
Oh
You
my
know,
gosh. Why
it
can't I
starts with a
remember his
C.
name? Chris Carson.
Chris Carson, yeah.
Yeah.
When Chris Carson got injured and Rashad Penny played, I'm pretty sure he was like a running back one all 3 weeks. So like
Yeah.
Rashad Penny could also outperform. But when it comes to Martin, I think he's got actually like no depth, and
Yeah.
picking Odell Beckham, trash pick.
Yeah.
You just can't pick people who aren't on teams right now. You
Yeah.
can't do it. There's too much keeper potential. But all that said, I gave Martin a B plus.
Okay, cool. B plus for Martin for you. I ended up giving you a B minus. I'm really worried about that depth at receiver. Those, Penny has a good year. That does everything kind of changes. He's a very solid team with
Yeah.
Lamar and his running back core. All right, let's go to Preston.
We're going way over 20 minutes on this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Preston. So I think Olave, is that how we pronounce it
Yeah,
now? Olave.
Olave.
Olave could be the rookie receiver of the year and
He's
will
one
be a
of
starter. It
yeah.
will be a starter for Preston, I think, by year end. So love the pick. I think that's a keeper. That was someone I was targeting if it fell to me at the right time. I looked at his entire lineup though, and I see problems with them. He's got good names on paper, but when I look at the situations of the people, there's a lot of things I don't like Cam Akers coming off an Achilles injury, Cooper Kupp. We saw his peak. His peak was the best receiver in NFL history. I don't know if he hits that ceiling again.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney has Justin Fields for a quarterback. That's trash. And Joku's on Cleveland. Cleveland's trash.
I agree.
Deontay
And
Johnson
Njoku
just
isn't a good tight end.
yeah, Johnson just like had some major injury with his shoulder, and like I don't know if he's gonna even play week one. That might be a lingering issue. J.K. Dobbins has issues. Damian Harris doesn't catch passes. Like I can keep going down the line, right? Like just a lot of problems with this team.
Yeah. I think we mentioned in the draft, like the injury concerns for all the running backs are major. But I think, the promising thing about Preston's is that he's just kind of he's gambling. He's just taking bets, hoping that not everybody fails. So he's either going to be a contender or at the bottom of the pack. And
Or
if
a
he's at the bottom,
pretender.
if he's at the bottom of the pack, I think the positive thing about it is that he's got, like you said, some of those young stars, Olave, Isaiah Spiller, I think is going to be a starter in this league. And you said Olave is your number one wide receiver. I think Olave is mine.
Pickens.
Pickens could be. You watch some videos on Pickens. Pickens is a monster.
Pickens was also, I mean, I was targeting rookie wide receivers like hard. That was on
Yeah,
my after like round 8, I was ready to just make a run on them. And I
yeah.
didn't get almost any of them. I got one when we get to my team.
So
But
yeah,
yeah, love him.
so
I give him a B.
also with Preston, he ended up getting the best quarterback in the draft. So I'm giving him an A minus. You're giving him a B.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's go to Gabe. Let's speed this up.
All right. Now I'm having too much fun roasting people.
Yeah.
Gabe, I wrote really quick comments. Gabe's got strong wide receivers, but he's got big running back questions.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in Josh Jacobs at all.
Nope. Been
I
there.
am a huge believer in Dalvin Cook. I think Dalvin Cook could be number one running back, over CMC, over Taylor if everything works out well for him.
Yeah.
He's got some really good steals with depth in steals with potential keepers in Brian Robinson.
Yep, he got that one.
And Drake London. That's another great rookie
wide receiver.
Yeah. I think
and Tony, people hype Tony a lot. Like I don't know him at all. I never watched the Giants, but apparently he balls.
Oh, Kadarius Toney.
Kadarius?
Yeah. I had him either last year or a year before that, and he's a baller, yeah, for sure. But what I was telling you before the draft, Kenny Golladay is a bum. Like he is an absolute bum. Tony is a beast, but he has some injury concerns. Those Giants receivers are looking a little sketchy.
Yeah, if you have more than one Giants wide receiver on your bench on your team, you're trash.
Yeah, but I mean he's got Travis Kelce. That's a stone lock in every week, and then you got Tony in case something goes wrong. It'll be a hard decision between Rodgers and Prescott every week, I think. So I do overall think Gabe had a pretty solid draft. I ended up giving him a B.
I gave him a B plus.
Okay. Cool. Honestly, our ranks aren't too far off so far. So let's go to Brandon.
All right. Brandon, you go ahead.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead? I'm just
all right. Brandon, I think Brandon's got a really solid foundation for a team.
Yeah.
Wilson is gonna ball. His wide receivers are set. I think Juju has a chance to outperform his draft rank. I mean, and Juju's only 25, so that's like another potential keeper there. He's got strong flex players, but Brandon's got no bench, and like nobody knows if it will ever be Algier season for like the Falcons running back like trio, who's going to really emerge there. But I like his foundation, and it's got to feel good to have Jefferson because every analyst is saying that Jefferson's going to have the best season a wide receiver's ever had.
Yeah, at 2 I was thinking to do Jefferson, honestly, but I just wanted to play it safe. Jefferson, highlight. Fournette, highlight. I think Fournette, if healthy, and the Bucks are the Bucks, he could be top 8
Yeah,
running back, no problem. I'm
yeah.
a believer in Juju. I'm a believer in Hunter Renfro. I
I
don't
gave
know why you do. I don't know why you draft 4 quarterbacks. That doesn't make any sense to me.
just because
I don't know
Brandon
why you
likes
draft
being.
4 quarterbacks and only have 3 running backs. It's a concern. So I ended up giving Brandon a D plus.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I gave him a B plus.
All right. Big. I don't have any beef with Brandon. It's just baffling, baffling decision.
Brandon, you called the fuck out. Gave Brandon the third strongest team to me. I know
Well,
he's got way too many quarterbacks, and that doesn't make sense. And I
well,
don't understand Brandon's draft strategy sometimes, but he's got a foundation.
honestly, what do I know? Because he is the highest projected player this week. So what
Yeah.
do I know? All right,
All right.
Josh, why
Me.
don't what do you want to do? Do you want to really go on a spiel about your team, or do you
No,
want
you go ahead. You go,
what?
please,
Why,
please.
why, why don't I tell you how I feel about your team?
Yeah, tell
I
me.
feel like you have really good value with getting Trey Lance. Okay. I think that'll be potential. If Trey Lance plays good, that'll be a 3-year quarterback for you. Like I said to you, I'm a little concerned with Derrick Henry this season. I don't know how long he'll be viable this season without AJ Brown and a regressing Tannehill, but Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry. He could very well pull it through and be a stud for you yet again. It'll probably feel great to prove me wrong.
Oh yeah.
We have differences on how high we view Javonte. I really think he's a great player, but I think you're underestimating how much Melvin Gordon will take
All right.
touches and how
I've heard enough of you talking about my team.
I haven't even finished the good parts. Let me do the
Okay.
last. Let me do the last good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Pittman, Robinson, Williams, Davis, Moore, Ayuk, Osborne. By far, you have the deepest wide receiver class in this league.
Deep.
And even though I mentioned those things about, I'm not even on your team. Even though I mentioned those things about your running backs, I mean, those are some pretty solid running backs to have. So I ended up giving you my highest score, which is an A.
Oh, let me roster bait even harder here for a second. I appreciate that. It means a
Yeah.
lot coming from you. So, real quick, I'll keep this quick, but I drafted Lamar the year Lamar broke out. I drafted Hurts the year Hurts broke out, and I drafted Trey Lance, and this is the year Lance breaks out. In all those years, I got my quarterback late in the draft. Like I think I drafted Lamar in round 9 and Hurts in round like 10. This year I got Lance in 9. So I've got luck with the running quarterbacks. I'm rolling that dice again. Henry was so dominant last year. It was at the point he got injured, he was the leading running back by points and like by 40 points. So, I was okay with actually taking Eckler. But that's why I chose number 4 because I knew I was taking one of the top 4 running backs no matter what. Williams, he's 22. Enough said. That's one of my keepers this year. Basically locked in, barring something crazy. Pittman, year 3 receiver, gonna be Julio Jones. Mike Williams got paid in the offseason. The Chargers are ready to play Mike Williams like he's the Keenan Allen replacement. Davis already scored a touchdown on the opening drive, and some people think he could outperform Diggs. Robinson's a beast. Where else do I go?
What are you missing? What's your cons on your team?
I literally in my pros and my cons for each I wrote pros is everything, cons is I don't have a tight end. But I think I cannot even play a tight end. I'm going to win games this year. So
All right, what do you grade yourself?
I gave myself an A,
Okay.
and I do think that I have 3 bench players that could be starters on anybody's team in this league, and I'm going to be able to trade one of them for a tight end at some point during the season.
Okay. Well, we were going to have someone come in and be a independent reviewer on ours, but they weren't able to attend. So you're going to stick with the A for that ranking. I gave it to you, so it's not really going to affect your average overall.
Okay.
Let's go to MJ.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe keep this one quick.
His running backs are great. His QB set. Thielen's being slept on. His wide receivers are horrible, and his flex running backs were on my do not draft list.
All right, what do you grade him?
B minus.
Okay, so I actually only had one comment on MJ's. I think it's a good team for 2019. I ended up giving him a C minus.
Oh.
All
You
right,
know what?
let's.
I want to give MJ a C.
You
I just downgraded him.
okay? Fine. All right. Any reason why you just kind of like wanted to be nice to him
Once,
originally?
when I said out loud that is like he has people that were on my do not draft list,
Yeah.
downgraded.
So MJ baffles me because he week to week during the season probably cares more than most people about fantasy, but pretty consistently does about zero prep for the draft. So,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to me. I'll let you take this one away.
All right. Can you pull up? Let me see your team while I talk.
Oh yeah,
All right, Roshan. Your team is solid head to toe. Hurts, that was my QB target. I was hoping Hurts was going to fall one more round on the back of the snake and I was going to snag him. Pitts feels so good to lock in a keeper. You got him in what, the third round? That's solid. Sutton's going to ball. And just the whole Denver Broncos situation is fun. Like that's another fun thing to watch, I think, because they have such a storyline around them. So your receivers are strong. You had great late round pickups. You got Isaiah Likely. I mean, that was like a sneaky tight end I was hoping to pick up too. As I realized I wasn't getting a tight end, I was like, I'm going for Likely. You got him honestly just earlier than I thought anyone was going to even know. I didn't even know if people knew about him.
gotta get my guys.
And, it does hurt to have Darrell Henderson be your RB2, but fantastic late round RB2.
Yeah, I think I got him at 10.
Yeah.
And if Cam Akers ends up, not being able to recover from his Achilles and Henderson gets majority of the touches there, that's a steal at 10.
Yeah.
Stevenson, people are hyping him up too. We'll see how that goes. I got Kenneth Walker, Benjamin,
Yeah.
Rashad,
Kenneth Walker could be
Rashad
another
White.
keeper for you. I think Kenneth Walker could be the running back for next year for Seattle.
I feel really good about my team. I don't think I was saying with Preston too. I think I did take a few risks on people. So
Romeo Dobbs was another rookie wide receiver I was like kind of hopeful for.
I self graded. I gave myself a B plus just based off the riskiness of some of the players. I'm waiting for a couple of things to fall.
I gave you an A minus.
Okay.
But as we're talking there, I wanted to give you an A, but since you gave yourself a B plus, you didn't inspire me to bump you up.
That's fine. All right, let's go to Dan.
Is that the last one?
Dan's the last one.
All right, Dan. Last one we're talking about. Also the last one on my rankings.
Wow.
Dan, you have tight end trade capital, but who wants to trade for tight ends?
Yeah. You think he's going to start? You think he's going to start Darren Waller and Mark Andrews every week?
Yeah. So Dan's legitimately got no bench. He just traded you, but Hopkins doesn't even come for 6 weeks. Singletary has so many question marks. Metcalf lost his QB. I don't understand why he wanted 2 tight ends in the first place and was confused at multiple draft picks he took.
Yeah.
So I'm going to chalk it up to Dan just not being prepared and having a crazy work life and rolled into this draft like.
And he's not living with the boys anymore. He doesn't have the forcing function.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not able to eavesdrop on some legitimate fantasy conversation. So I don't know what his resources are for fantasy, but whatever they are, dude, stop reading them.
I think his really good pick was the first pick, and then so I kind of messed with him. I told him that I was going to pick Josh Allen on my second pick. So I don't think when he got the opportunity to draft Josh Allen, he was prepared for that. So I think getting Josh Allen at 2, when you get a quarterback in your second round, it really shifts kind of your whole perspective. So, ride or die with the Bills. That's Dan's MO right now. But I think the trade that I made with Dan was the first trade Dan ever made in the league, other than, I don't know if he traded you Le'Veon or if he just, I think it just dropped
he had
Le'Veon.
dropped him. Yeah.
So this is, maybe this is a new Dan that's more open to trades.
Yeah.
So looking for some potential there, but agree with you. The depth is pretty brutal. Running backs through 2 through 4 are huge question marks. And I think you got some good value with DK, who's underrated this year just based off the situation. But if you wanted to keep him,
his QB is your QB. His QB is
Gino. I think Gino will do better than what people are saying, but that doesn't make DK wide receiver 1 for the season.
Yeah, we'll find
So
out. We'll
we'll
find
find
out.
out. Not inspiring draft, not real depth. I gave Dan a C.
I gave him a C minus.
Yo, yo. So I'm going to record over this section here because I had some technical difficulties and then ran into some bad math. Um, so what you see on the screen is the final power rankings based off of the draft grade averages between myself and Josh. There were a couple of tiebreakers in this process. So starting at the bottom of the list, MJ and Dan were tied with points on their draft grades, and the decision was that Dan had the worst team in the league, so he's at 12. Brandon at 10, Mitch at 9, Matt at 8, Martin at 7, Bata at 6, but Bata at 6 was tied with Gabe and Ryan. So I think of the three, Ryan got the tiebreaker just based off past performance. He was second last year and just has incredible NFL knowledge, draft knowledge, sports knowledge. Gave him the tiebreaker and the edge over Gabe and Bata there. Then the top three, totally non-biased, obviously, is Preston, myself, and Josh. So Preston might be surprised here, ending up in the top three, but I do think he has a really good team, especially with the boomer bust mentality. Definitely can be a contender and definitely can build for the future. Very flexible, a lot of opportunities. I really feel good about my team. Nothing more I can really say there. But I did think that Josh had the best team in the draft. Really good depth, incredible wide receivers. I'm not going to spend too much more time talking about his team, but with that, sorry for the issues. Let's transition to the game of the week. So we took a lot of time in this pod, but I did want to talk about the game of the week for week 1, in my view. So I looked up at pretty much everybody's head to head, and I think we actually have a really, really good game of the week, and it fits the theme with the week 1 of the NFL season, which is revenge week. There are 3 major quarterbacks that are playing their old team. Russell Wilson versus the Seahawks, Baker Mayfield versus the Browns, Joe Flacco versus the Ravens. So a lot of animosity in the air, and I think underrated rivalry in this league is Gabe versus Josh. So I think Gabe is really the underdog in this situation, obviously with the power rankings, but also with the results of last season. Last season, Gabe in the final regular season game to clinch good playoff positioning lost to Josh, 101 to 85. If Gabe had won that game, he could have made a longer run in the playoffs. They were essentially fighting with the same record for a tiebreaker type position. And not only did he lose that and then end up losing the playoffs, he ended up losing in the third round matchup to Josh, 232 to 145. I think Gabe probably just phoned it in at that point, but 2 straight losses against Josh in a competition that was take all your head to heads, it's 4-4. So this is a tiebreaker competition, a statement game to open up the season.
Opening of the season. Damn, I did not realize I was about to be game of the week here. There's a lot of shit talk going on in the group chat. Gabe, you're not clapping my cheeks, boy. First touchdown of the season. Game's not over, but read him and weep. So yeah, I love the matchup, West Coast rivalry, and sucks to suck, man. I'm winning.
Should be exciting. We'll have whoever wins. Obviously, if you win, you'll be on the pod. But if Gabe wins, he'll be able to get on the pod and talk some smack about the win. So that's it for week 1. Do you have anything else?
No, great pod, long pod, but I thought
I'm happy. Content. I'm happy about this pod. Everybody got the smoke.
Yeah, everyone did get some smoke. Cool.
Yeah. And we have just a great lineup. I think your and Gabe's game is going to be a tempo setter, and you guys play again at the last 2 weeks of the season, so
fun.
Should be good.
Well, right. enjoy the games, enjoy the weekend, and looking forward to NFL Red Zone Sundays.
See ya.